On today's episode of Open Box Policy, it'll just be Devin and I this episode because Jamie is out. Jamie is at home. We want to protect her. We're so worried about Jamie getting sick, and we want to make sure that she is not with us. So it'll just be Devin and I on this episode. Devin and I end up talking about some of the funny stuff that goes on during this pandemic. I have had some of the most asinine stuff happen to me, and it ends up being basically a hilarious story that I want to tell you all about. Then we end on a bright note. Devin and I talk about some of the great things that have happened to us during this whole time that the world is basically being put on hold. We end up talking about human connection, and we talk about how nice it is to be able to see things and do things that we haven't been able to do in a while. Devin ends it on a fantastic bright note, and I love it. So we appreciate all of you all. Thank you all for listening. We're sorry that it's been a few weeks, but we wanted to give you something that you would appreciate. Please hit us up on all of our social media platforms. We are on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at OBP_raw. If you would like to continue the conversation, and if you would like to send us an email about anything, tell us some stories, tell us something that you would want us to talk about, please email us at obppodcast@gmail.com. Thank you all very much. I'm literally getting a call about work right now.
I hear it.
Fucking dude. It's like all night long. I've had to throw my phone in the floor until there's all this like dirty laundry that's at the foot of my bed. I've had to throw my phone in the floor at night because literally all night long I will hear like buzz, 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 and it won't stop. I like, because I always have my ringer off, because if I didn't, I mean, I probably get, I can't even imagine how many phone calls I get a day, Jesus, and text messages, but it's just like all night long. And I have all these other notifications on my email and all this stuff. It is mind numbing. And of course,
is that a normal thing or is that Corona?
Oh, this is normal.
Oh, nice.
This is normal. Speaking of coronavirus, no. First and foremost, we're not going to talk about coronavirus this episode. We might talk about some of the
not that much
totally asinine things that have happened to us during it, but
for sure.
I swear to you, my phone is ringing again while we're talking.
Do you need to answer it?
No, because someone else, someone else has to be the person that can. Because this goes to numerous people. It goes out to numerous people. Someone else has to answer this phone call. I can't be the guy. But on our last episode, I'm not going to mention his name, although we have before. We talked about coronavirus again, and it was kind of intense because we were talking about how crazy it is. One of our listeners actually told me that he had to stop listening to the episode because it was so overwhelming. It basically stressed him out. It stressed him out so bad he had to stop listening. So this episode, it won't be that.
It's dedicated to you.
Yeah, it's dedicated to you, silent listener, who had to turn off our episode last time. Man, we haven't recorded in
going on
2 weeks?
3 weeks, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost 4 weeks.
So for our listeners, part of the reason why we haven't recorded is because Jamie has bad lungs. I don't know how else to say it.
Along with a bad immune system.
And and a bad heart and bad legs and bad feet and the hip bone's connected to the leg bone and that kind of stuff. So we decided, given the gravity of everything that was going on, we felt like the best decision for Jamie was to stay at home and
for sure
to not be exposed. So we thought about different methods to bring her on the podcast, and I mean, it wouldn't sound great. We might end up making a decision at some point and figure out how to get her back on here remotely.
Right, having her on a phone call or something like that.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I mean, we're not all the most tech savvy, me included, and I'm basically the only one in here that's not tech savvy. But
and if you didn't know this, I'm in a completely different city than what Adam and Jamie's in. So
yes, so we're already doing remote, and I don't know how to add more remote to what we already do remote. there's too many remotes in this room,
right?
Exactly. So just like with my TV and my stereo, and God knows what else I have downstairs, I'm always fishing around for a new remote.
Right? And I think every time that I clean out some drawers or some cabinets or something like that, I'll find a remote, and I'm just like, I've never seen this fucking remote in my life.
What is this? Yeah, like what does this open? You ever gone around your house and just press the power button? Hoping for like a wall painting to open up. Yeah, so
Did I install this without my knowledge?
A new room, like a room full of guns and gold bullion and stuff. Right. That would be badass. I've always wanted that. That would be so awesome. Like I've always wanted something hidden. I don't have anything hidden. I've always wanted to have like a hidden room or a hidden safe.
What about your hidden depression?
Well, yeah, maybe the severity of my depression is hidden, but my depression's not hidden.
No, I told I used to, as you know, Adam, but our listeners, I used to work at Home Depot. I was a millwork supervisor, doors and windows, and you know how you can go into the system and create your own doors, right, Adam?
Yeah.
All right. So
it's like a design app.
Yeah. They have a certain door in there that's essentially like a hidden bookshelf door that you can create. I think the cheapest one's like $2,000, but I'd always like go in there probably fucking once a month to create a bookshelf door, and I'm like, yes, that's the one.
That's the one I want.
In my new house.
Was it stupid expensive? I bet it was.
Oh, it was over $2,000 for sure.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but it was cool. Nice cherry wood. It was
That is so cool. Well,
Right.
and we see it in all the movies. You've seen it. You've probably read about it in books. I don't read books, but there's probably books out there that talk about this, about that one book on a shelf that just feels different than all the other books.
Right.
And you kind of pull it towards you, and somehow,
it's in every
wall
murder mystery.
opens. Yes.
Everyone.
I love that stuff. I've always wanted that, even if it just went into like the shitter.
It's a secret bathroom with like the world's most comfortable toilet.
Yes, even if it was just a basic toilet. You know what I mean? Like the cheapest toilet I could buy at Home Depot because my fucking bookshelf wall was so expensive. Like who gives a shit? Linoleum floors and like one roll of toilet paper. It's just there. That would be so.
Speaking of toilet paper, that's a delicacy now.
It's absolutely insane. I am here to fully endorse Metamucil. Thank you, Metamucil.
Hell yeah.
I eat fiber every day, and it helps me when that time comes around not have to use so much. There's not a lot of toilet paper. It's fantastic.
You don't even have to use toilet paper with that.
Yeah.
Clean.
It's always, what do they call that? It's like the invisible guest. It has like a name.
Never heard that.
Yeah, there's like when you use the restroom and you're just like, there's nothing there. Like, what happened? I know something exited me.
Somebody's already wiped it, and it wasn't me.
Yeah, like, what is this? I didn't feel anybody wipe my butt.
I love those, man. I look forward to those, and they're once every blue moon. And I cherish that moment.
If you use Metamucil, it's constant. I love it.
Metamucil. This episode brought to you by
Metamucil. Shit better. I think we might have already done that commercial on another podcast.
Did we? I know it's been so long since we've done it. We might be just recycling jokes at this point.
Well, I mean, yeah.
What episode is this?
I have no
90,
idea. It's like 90.
Yeah. So we've had to recycle some jokes.
Oh, we have numerous times. And if that joke didn't sound recycled to you, that's your problem for not listening to us.
And you're welcome for giving you a solid joke.
A solid
joke at your next gathering.
Yeah. It's like it's a blessing and a blessing,
Right.
But we want you to listen more and then get annoyed when we repeat. Because we will periodically. So speaking of hidden depression, that was dark.
Great segue.
That was a great segue.
Yeah.
Like speaking of hidden depression.
Speaking of shit, my depression is.
is hidden. I was in a Walgreens, and Imagine 2 or 3 people in front of me. There's spots on the floor for you to stand, so you're keeping your distance. And everyone in front of me is old, and they're all old ladies. And the man behind the register is an old man. And, I mean, you can imagine, like, what would ensue. There's a lot of unnecessary conversation.
There's a lot of 50s talk.
Yeah. There's just a lot of weird stuff going on. So it was already taking an excessively long amount of time. And I was already frustrated. I was trying to help my dad out, and he needed all this stuff at Walgreens. And, it's just no one wants to shop right now anyway. And I had a mask on, and my glasses were fogging. I mean,
Because of the mask?
Because of the mask,
yep.
yeah.
It is exactly what you're talking about.
It was basically just a couple notches away from my nightmare. It was close.
Waiting in a line with slow old people in front of you.
Exactly. The only thing that would have made it even worse is if you'd have taken like various like ex-girlfriends and just had them all there like yelling disparaging things at me. You know what I mean? And then maybe someone making me take my shirt off. Like it would have been basically it. So at one point this lady was like, well, it says it's $5. It says it's $5 on the shelf over there. It just says it's $5. And the guy's like, well, it's not $5. It won't even ring up. Like this, that's the old man voice, by the way. He's like,
right.
It won't even.
He was just like, sounds like you. You were the old man.
Like, it won't even ring up, lady. And she's like, it says it's $5. And I was like, oh my God. So this takes forever. He goes, well, I'm gonna have to call a manager because he can't leave the register, and she won't leave and go to where it was. And I'm telling you, it was 25 feet away. It wasn't that far.
She fucking old people, man.
Yeah, she was just like, no, I'm gonna stay right here. I'm gonna just stand here.
Yeah.
So they called a manager. Here's where it gets interesting. Here's where my nightmare went up a notch.
Oh yeah, it was your ex-girlfriend.
So yeah, it was, and she asked me to take my shirt off. So I had walked out of line because there was no one else in the store to go look and see if there was a thermometer. My dad wanted a thermometer. I turn around and there's a guy kind of coming my way. It didn't register, but he was coming my way, and I said, "Hey man, where are your thermometers?" And he said, "Sold out." And I said, "Oh," I just turned right around. I said, it was kind of dramatic. I was like, "That's all I need to know. Thank you very much. I figured I would come into a store and there'd be nothing here I wanted. Ha ha ha." The typical Adam response. So I get back in line and I stand there and I'm just shaking my head and I'm mumbling to myself. And I realize the old man, the old lady, and the other few people in front of me were all turned around and they were looking at me. So I looked at them. And then I realized there was someone standing behind me. So I turned around, and it was the manager. He wouldn't say, "Excuse me, sir, due to social distancing, I am going to have to move or maneuver around you."
No fucking way. He just stood there and looked at you?
Yep. So I turned around. It was almost like he didn't know what to say. So I turned around, and I was like, oh, shit. You got to go this way? Like, you can't go. Like, he could have gone easily.
First thing, what do you say to someone when someone's in your way? "Excuse me, sir."
Yes.
That's all you gotta fucking say. Treat this like a normal situation and continue on through.
I don't know if he was afraid that like his mouth would open and a COVID tentacle would come out and it would like snatch me around the neck and like drag me back in like a horror movie. I don't know. It was absolutely insane. So I'm like, I got instantly frustrated, and I was like, you need to like come this way, like and I'm like, you could go
Talk
around,
to me.
Whatever.
What do you need? What do you want?
So he starts coming towards me, and I am in like this little corridor that they've locked off. So he can't really come past me without us almost touching. So I start walking towards him to get out of this little like corridor that they have walled off for the line. And when I take a few steps towards him, dude, he put the brakes on, arms out, and like backed up. Like
he had AIDS or something.
Well, I mean, maybe in 1982.
Bro, I'm pretty sure we used it. What joke do we use where it's like, it's the new AIDS?
Yeah. Yeah.
We might have used that for coronavirus. But anyway,
we might have. Yeah. And if we did, we're sorry. So he backed up and kind of made this dramatic like jump back, and it pissed me off. That's the third time this has happened to me. It happened at a grocery store. I went walking towards a woman. I was 10 feet from her, and she put the brakes on and started backing up like she saw a truck coming.
Yeah, dude.
It's crazy. I walked out of a gas station one night. These big wide doors. Now, I probably didn't walk out like a normal person. I walked out right down the center. You know what I mean? And some guy was coming in, and I went to walk towards my car, and he was kind of going that way, and we started doing that weird thing. It was like football practice where
Dancing.
you like go one. Yeah, you go one way, you go the other way, and I got all angry and was like, "Get out of my way!" Just like, here you go.
Yeah.
But so this guy, we did that a few times, and I ended up saying like. I call it JFC, like Jesus effing Christ. You know, I was just like, you know, Jesus effing Christ, and not in a loud way, just kind of like under my breath.
Yeah, just like an annoying thing, like Jesus fucking Christ.
Jesus fucking Christ, man. You know, and so I did that, and I was shaking my head. Now I'm sweating. Now I'm angry. He goes up.
Wait, you sweat?
I was sweating. Dude, I was angry. The woman at the register was like, "It's $5. It's $5. I don't know why it's $5." You do whatever she was doing, and the guy goes over there. He walks 25 feet away, and then he starts trying to figure out what the price is. And I'm just sitting there like stewing. Now one of the old ladies is whispering to the other old lady about me, and I could see because they're just like, this dude's head's about to pop off, and. I was trying not to be dramatic, but when I mentioned like I was angry, like I'm sure it was kind of obvious. So finally he comes back up.
Sweating.
Yeah. Well, you know what he does? He comes back to the register the other way. Like
the way that he should have taken the first time?
way that he should have done the first time. And he said, "Oh, sorry, you just grabbed two at a time and they were packaged together. These are only sold individually." So the old man at the register, he couldn't figure that out. It took his manager. This is why that dude will always be a cashier.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So they get that done. Lady takes forever. Now she's going through her coupons. Well, this is like a double coupon. This is
now we're extreme couponing.
Next lady in line, same crap. It was just a double. This is a double coupon. It's this is supposed to be $5. But all this. And so by now, like it was. I looked like something out of a cartoon. My head was red.
Steam coming out.
Yeah, eyes bulging out of my head, and I was shaking my head, which is something I can't stop myself. I was just like shaking my head. So the next lady in line who was about to go goes, "Excuse me, sir? And I was like, "Yes, ma'am." And she said, "You seem to be very bothered. So you're so bothered, why don't you just go ahead and check out?" And I was like,
This was the lady in front of you?
So there was old lady having the issue, old lady behind her, then me.
And the old lady in front of you turned around and told you this?
Last old lady. She's like, "Excuse me, sir. You seem to be really bothered by something.
Yeah.
You seem like you have like really something going on with you." And dude, I leaned out of my little like spot that I was supposed to stand on. It was like a game of Twister, you know.
Uh-huh.
I leaned out of it and was like, "Lady, you have no idea what I'm frustrated about." And
yes,
like,
Adam.
I was like, "You have no idea what I'm frustrated about." And I was like, "Don't worry about me. I just want you to go check out quickly." Dude,
yes,
it was funny. You know what she did? She went over there and she was like, "I want this and this and this and this and this," and that dude was like, "Beep beep 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 beep." He scanned it all real quick.
She got the fuck out of there is what she did.
Yeah, dude. I was like, no, don't worry about it, just hurry up. You know, it was I was so angry. And here's what's crazy. I went out to get my dad's car. It was a warm day. I get in my dad's car. My dad's one of these guys that's always freezing cold. The guy could sit in a 75-degree house and say, "Adam, it's freezing." Like, he's that kind of guy.
That's how my feet are, man.
So I get into his car.
Always ice cold.
It's crazy. I get into his car, and there's this like tepid air blowing out of the vents at maximum speed. And I sit down in the front seat, and I was like, "Dad, what's going on, man? Like, you got the air on like max and it's hot." And he goes, No, the AC's on. And I look over at him. I'm like, "Well, I know you think the AC's on,
yeah,
but the AC's not on." So I look down. He had the AC on max, the max cold, because my dad knows what he's doing.
Right.
He's so like messed up that his air conditioner in his car is broken. And he had no idea. He was just
he thought it was blowing out cold air.
He thought it was blowing out cold air. Yes.
Yes.
I was like, "Dad, we got a problem. There's a problem, And now he was like, "What? The AC works fine." And I was like, "It does not work fine, Dad. Like I'm like a mechanic, bro. It should be ice cold." He was like, "Nah, it works." I was like,
"Is this
Dad,
after your Walgreens?"
The second I walked out, and I found out when I got in the car that I bought him the wrong batteries. So
my God,
dude, yeah, that's the part of the story no one knows. I went in and took a guess, and I grabbed 2-3 packs of batteries, and I got in his car, and I was like, "Got your batteries, Eureka!" And he was like, "Yeah, those are the wrong ones." He said during the air conditioning conversation, he said, "So do you want to go back in and return them?" And I was like, "Absolutely not." I was like, "I will use these
You're
batteries."
You're going without batteries today, Pop.
I'm going to take every remote in my house, even the ones I don't use that I found in my drawers, and I'm just going to fill them with new batteries because I'm just so pissed off. Dude, I was so pissed. And I am not lying. A lot of people think that when I live my life through story. People tell me all the time, they just assume that I am constantly exaggerating and that I am constantly embellishing and that I am telling these stories in this really big embellished way. I am not. That happened exactly like I told it to you, except for, my flavor. You're getting like a little add of
my flavor. I got a flavor of telling stories.
Yeah. Have you had any like weird instances where you go into a store and someone like I had one where like off in the distance, like in a Publix, anything like this, where someone is just coughing their brains out like while you're in public. Have you had any of those?
Nobody, any kind of natural cough or sneeze that you have these days, you're automatically getting judged by coronavirus. It's fucking insane, man. Anna does most of the grocery shopping because she's at home all the time now. So I haven't got a chance to go out and like face the public. But I am waiting on that day because I'm going to take your story and I'm going to evolve it and put some of that Devon flavor on it.
Yeah,
put that flavor on it and then handle it the best way that I can. I really enjoyed your story because I've always wanted someone to do that during this time. And I'm just waiting for somebody to like judge my distance. We had a coffee truck come in the neighborhood. It was like a coffee food truck. It was pretty nice.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, it was a cool concept, and they just parked in a cul-de-sac, and like all the neighbors came out. Yeah, it was awesome. But we were standing in line.
The story should have just ended there. You should have just been like, we had a coffee truck come out, and anyway, moving on.
It. Yep. But Anna and I were standing there, and there were seriously like 15 feet between me and the other people in front of me. And I like started scooting up, and then Anna was like, whoa, what are you doing? And I was like, it's 6 feet distance. This is a fucking giant space right here.
And we're
outside.
Is insane.
Oh, outside, dude. Not even a confined space.
Yes.
And I just started scooting up, and Anna was like, whoa, like, don't get so close to him. This is 6 feet. I was like, do you understand how tall 6 feet is? I was like, I can lay down between me and this, and there'll still be room. And I'm basically 6 foot. I'm 5'10".
Yeah, exactly. So that's exactly how I do it. I'm 6'2", and I'm like, if I laid down right now, my hair wouldn't touch this lady. Like
right.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah. Calm your fucking tits.
Exactly. Calm your tits, lady. Like, I'm not that close to you.
My answer to that question is no, I have not, but I'm waiting on the fucking day that happens.
It's going to happen.
I'm going to let it go.
It's going to happen. You're going to go somewhere, and something's going to happen to you. And part of the reason why I have just more stories about it is because I'm still going to work every day. My job is considered essential. Are you working from home or are you going to work?
I work from home like 2 to 3 days a week, and I go to the office 2 to 3 days a week.
Okay.
Depending on what week it is.
All right. So that's good. I am just like constantly out, constantly having to do something. And I also have to, sometimes buy stuff for my parents and do whatnot. So I'm constantly like at a store or a gas station or somewhere. I mean, I could go on and on and on.
Dude, okay,
totally
so
ridiculous.
I was on the other end of that, actually. So I was in Walmart the other day, and I was standing in line, long-ass line, of course. There's no registers normally open in Walmart, so you got to go through the self-checkout. The self-checkout's backed way the fuck out because of coronavirus. All right. So I'm standing in line, and this fucking couple behind me is like standing uncomfortably close. Not even just during these standards, but like in a normal situation.
Normal,
like, give me my fucking
close.
personal space.
Yeah.
They were standing uncomfortably close to me, and they were doing that thing where they were at the front of the buggy, like pulling it behind them.
Yeah.
And I was at the back of mine, pushing it like a normal fucking person. So they like kept getting close to me, and I'm like, God damn! Like, and I just got in front of my buggy, because the guy in front of me was also in front of his buggy.
What?
So we were just all standing there in front of our buggies, pulling him behind us.
The world
like,
is turning upside down.
Fault. It is, dude. Nobody knows what the fuck to do.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Someone pulled out in front of me today. I was driving through these back roads through near my neighborhood. A person pulled out in front of me today. And if I didn't know any better, I would have assumed that they fell asleep and their car was just in neutral and it just happened to roll out in front of me.
They did it so slow.
It was insanity. It was so insane. You know how, like, the normal protocol is you, like, yell, scream, flick off, use horn. I was so incensed and so taken aback that I never even got a chance to use my horn. I was just sitting there. Like,
it wouldn't have made sense for you because that person's dead inside that car.
Exactly. Their soul is dead.
Yeah, that's why they rolled out in front of you, because they died at the wheel. And they just fell down and they just rolled
COVID.
out.
Yeah, COVID. Yeah, it's like one of those movies and everyone just dies behind the wheel.
Right.
It's like crazy.
The M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Exactly.
About the wind.
I'm really blown away by this. The way people are reacting to it is crazy. And I know that we said we weren't going to talk about COVID, and I know we said this episode wasn't going to be.
It's fucking everywhere. It's in every story that we can tell.
Well, yeah. There's all kinds of other things happening in the world, but I mean, what else are we going to talk about? The fact that the United States is about to enter a depression, The
fact that they're trying to push us to a one government world.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to know?
Yeah, it's all gloom and doom. We're going to look back one day and talk about COVID and be like hugging people, being like, "Man, that was awesome."
I'll tell you a little bright spot in my day that
please.
My favorite started doing. Old Matthew McConaughey. He's got his own Instagram account now, but he started doing these things called McConaughey takes.
Really?
It's where he just gives us a little bit of wisdom every now and then. So
that's cool.
I got that pulled up. I just wanted to play it for you.
Oh, no.
This one's only like 30 seconds long.
Oh, no.
I've listened to it once, forgot what it was about, so this is brand new to me too.
All right, play it for everybody.
Hey everybody, McConaughey here. I'm going to do a little something different with my Instagram right now. Seeing in these times of the coronavirus, we're all sort of quarantining ourselves at home more.
Yes, sir, Matthew.
Which means we have more screen time, more things to watch, more things to upload, download, and check out in our home. So I'm going to be going over a lot of my movies, giving you some fun tidbits that maybe you hadn't heard before. And maybe you'll find them funny. Maybe you'll want to rent the movie because they're all streaming out there anyway. Check them out.
Hey, McConaughey takes, son.
Well, that was it.
He's gonna do those every week. Wait, this is How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Yes, sir.
We're going to do this again?
This is the first.
This is a different video.
Comedy I did.
Well, I know. Are we going to do this again?
And
this was 2.5 minutes, so if you want to see
we're not doing 2.5 minutes of Matthew McConaughey.
My point is, people are thinking of positive ways to get through this crisis that we're having.
Totally.
And it's spawning some creativity. I'll tell you one thing that gets on my nerves during this thing. I'll go to Instagram. I would say probably about the first 50 Instagram stories that I see are live. And it's these fucking celebrities doing these live, like, split screen Instagram stories. That shit gets on my nerves, and I can't really tell you why.
Just because it does.
Why don't you normally do this? Like, why?
Because they don't care
you want to
about
talk to your friends, but do you actually spend this much time with this person face to face? No, you fucking don't.
No.
So why are you doing this Instagram live thing right now?
Oh yeah, I heard a great story. I was reading some stuff about some of the celebrities, like, they're making all these. Even Joe Rogan went off about it. Like, they're making all these Instagram stories and making all these Twitter posts, and they're just like, "Hey guys, we want you to know we support you. We're here with you. We got this." And they're like, hole up in this castle. in a locked neighborhood in Hollywood where everybody brings them. They wait on them hand and foot, and they're like, you're on a 75-acre hacienda. Like, bro, you have no idea like what
you have
I'm
your
dealing
own
with.
estate. You have your own fucking section of California in your backyard. You know,
you're on a yacht out in like the Italian, like whatever, like the Mediterranean Sea. Shut up. You have no idea what I'm dealing with.
I saw a meme and it said, celebrities, we're all in the same boat, and it's like their boat, and it was like this big ass yacht, and it was like my boat, and it showed the Bird Box boat with Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, like, this is my boat. Yeah,
just fucking rowing.
Yeah, I flipped over an old canoe. Like, that's what I'm in. I have a good bright spot. My neighborhood is a little self-contained neighborhood. There's only 2 ways in and 2 ways out, but like the end of it, I know that's one of the most dumb shit things I've ever said. So like there's no outlet. Like, you get in my neighborhood and the only way out is to get out the same way you came in, basically. Like, there's like a little U-shaped area to come in and out of my neighborhood, but you can't go in it and then get out on the other end of it. It goes into a greenway. So it's been awesome, dude. My whole sidewalk around my driveway is full of like chalk art from all the kids. They've been outside like drawing balloons and stuff, which I love. I'm like, you use my driveway as a canvas. You can do whatever you want. I don't care.
Cool.
It's awesome. And I've met new people. I'm out at night and people are riding their bikes and we're talking and having beers and like enjoying each other. And it's been really, really nice. I've connected with some of my neighbors far more than I have ever connected with them before. And I mean, that human connection is already what we're like dying for and what we're striving for. My phone's literally ringing with work again, by the way. But I'm not going to let it ruin my bright spot, damn it. So it's fantastic. I've connected with more people recently than I have in a while.
Damn, really?
Yes, but just because I'm busier, I'm more stressed out, and I'm working more than I have in a while. But when I'm off, there have been numerous times that I've been out and I've been talking to more people because there's just more people walking around my neighborhood.
Yeah,
people that I wouldn't.
Same here in my neighborhood. There's people
I wouldn't normally
always
talk
walking or running. I know it's the same form as walking, but there are people always out in the neighborhood, which I like to see. But it's pretty fucking annoying when I'm trying to leave the neighborhood and I always have to stop or slow down for somebody else.
Oh, dude, that's one thing that has been freaking me out. Like, I'm going to try to stay on this bright streak, but I've been legitimately freaked out. There have been so many people on bikes, so many people walking, so many kids out running around the streets. I've been driving very cautiously.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm going to try to keep this bright spot going, too.
All right. We're going to end it on your bright spot.
Okay. One thing that I've been doing, and me and Anna have been doing, is just doing random shit that we've always wanted to do around the house, but we've just made excuses to not do them. So like painting or like, fixing like a broken board on our back porch, fixing our flower beds and shit. So by the time this thing's over, our house is going to be super immaculate and we're going to have it just the way we want it.
Awesome.
Another thing is Anna is very happy right now because one, she's jobless, but two, she gets to stay home a lot and spend time with the dogs. She gets to like cook and bake what she wants to. She's just happy. So, happy wife, happy life. That's where I'm at. That's really good to hear. Like in the most non-sarcastic way, even though this whole podcast is dripping with sarcasm, that's legitimately good to hear. I appreciate that. That was a huge decision. That was a huge decision for her to do that, and that she's being able to spend more time with you and spend more time doing some things that she loves. Man, that's really good to hear, and I envy that. I mean, although I've been able to connect with more people, like there's, I just don't have like the luxury of, I don't have that time. Yeah. That's awesome, man. Let's end it on that. That's a bright note. Let's end it there. All right. Deal. This is Devin. This is Adam, and Jamie is still alive. She's alive. Yep.